Okay, first things first, and this is a warning. There will be heavy spoilers in this review. Full stop. I just got out of seeing it, and there is no way that I'm going to be able to review this without spoilers because I am about to geek out. So this is your only warning. If you do not want spoilers, spoiler free, if you are a Transformer fan, go see this movie. Otherwise, stick around and let's talk about it. Welcome to Convertibot Reviews. I'm your host, Convertibot, and the star of the show today, well, it's not a Transformer review or anything. It's a movie review. I know, right? I'm reviewing a movie. I just got out to see Transformers 1 in IMAX. And yeah. What are we at? Let's see. Prior to this, you had 7 live action films and the 1986 animated movie. So this is number 9. The 9th Transformer film in its 40-year history. It's peak. Out of all 9 Transformers films, this is the best one. Full stop. I don't care what you think. I have been a Transformer fan since I was 9 years old. Alright? But there is so much to love about this film. The fact that it's entirely animated and because it focuses directly on the Transformers only on Cybertron. Fans have been asking for a movie like this for decades. Quite literally. Alright, one of the biggest gripes. Alright, I remember this purely like after Revenge of the Fallen came out and before Dark of the Moon. That was one thing that was on everyone's mind. And then when Bumblebee just had those 5-ish minutes on Cybertron in the beginning, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. But this film is completely on Cybertron. Or actually, technically under it. Again, this is spoilers here. Alright? Full stop. Spoilers. Alright? Again, I already gave you the final warning. If you're still watching, it's on you. Alright? I gave you an extra warning. Seriously. Okay, so stupid. The film is beautiful. Alright? The art direction of the CG animation just... it's beautiful. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And not to mention, seeing organic life on Cybertron too, even if it was only a little bit, that was kind of crazy. But then again, it kind of makes sense because the top of Cybertron is basically this post-apocalyptic wasteland that's basically been abandoned because of the Quintessons. Yeah, the Quintessons are fully in this film. Alright? It's kind of weird because by the end of it, the Quintessons aren't the main bad guy. They're like... they have all the plot relevance. They're only there for once-ish scene, but they're not there. But they're a huge plot-relevant device, and we do see them. It's basically like Darth Vader only showing up for like 10 minutes in A New Hope, alright? Or even the Emperor being mentioned in Star Wars and not being seen, alright? It's that kind of like villain. I literally like that. Alright, because this movie does not focus on the Quintessons. It focuses on Orion Pax and D16. Basically, those who will become Optimus Prime and Megatron. And if there's one thing that I was quite shocked about with this film is that it took story beats from so many different Transformers series on the basic origin story of the Transformers. Like, I noticed stuff from the original comics, War for Cybertron video game, alright, and the Netflix series at some point too. Just that was a little bit more iffy. Revenge of the Fallen, of all things. Yeah, with the Matrix, like, huh. But then Transformers Prime as well. It somehow blended a lot of it together, and it was just, it worked. And it juggled Optimus and or Orion and D16's like friendship as well. I was blown away. Oh, down goes Alpha Trion. We'll get to him. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It just did it well. Don't get me wrong. There were some bits that I felt were rushed, particularly D16 becoming Megatron. But it still felt very organic. I wish it was more of a build-up. There was more of a build-up to it. If anything, I honestly just wish the movie was a little longer. For a little over 90-minute runtime, there was a lot that got put into it. But, being said, core cast. Normally, I am not a fan of celebrity voice impressions or voice actors, mainly because it usually feels like they're just phoning it in and are there to put butts in seats, and that's it. Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Keegan-Michael Key, Brian Tyree Henry. Holy cow. Like, let's go down the list. Chris Hemsworth. I totally bought him as a young Optimus Prime. Full stop. It worked perfectly. Who thought Thor is actually a good voice actor? Seriously. Insane. It was insane. I honestly could not believe it. Scarlett Johansson. I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen much of her stuff outside the MCU. Probably because I think her performances are generally pretty wooden and kind of samey. Yet, somehow, she made me actually start giving a damn about Alita 1. Which, to be fair, if anyone's kept up with the comics, alright, the recent comics, you'd know that, Alita kind of became a main character in the worst way possible. Also peak. But yeah, Scarlett Johansson's performance, great. Keegan-Michael Key. Alright, I'm going to be honest here. The Bad Acetron joke, it was hit over the head with a rusty hammer so many damn times. I think they used it 5 or 6 times in the film. Yeah, it was annoying. But there were points when I will say this, where B had to be serious, where Keegan-Michael Key, you did a good job. Like, hats off to you. Like I don't give a crap if you were just trying to promote the movie and all, but if you are a Transformer fan, you did us justice. Props. Also, Soundwave awesome. Alright, like, fully off. Like, awesome. In the movies, he's actually does pretty good too. But yeah, Soundwave awesome. I will say this though. There is a standout performance. Brian Tyree Henry. Also known as, hey, you know that conspiracy theorist guy from Godzilla vs. Kong that's somehow right? What the heck? Okay, early on as D16, I really wasn't buying it as Megatron, but as the film progressed, yeah. I saw like little threads on Reddit that were just of comparing his Megatron performance to that of Frank Welker's. Not the 1984 Frank Welker Megatron, not the original G1 one. The Transformers Prime Frank Welker Megatron. I could not believe that when I read it. Now, after seeing it, oh my gosh, Tyree Henry, you do good. Freaking hell, I had some goosebumps at the end there. All hail Megatron. Oh yeah, please, for the love of God, come back. Please, you did fantastic. I will say this, out of all the voice cast, I think the only one that really didn't click was Steve Buscemi as Starscream. I know, some people are going to go nuts on me. Screaming Star, I know you. Hear me out. It's only because he didn't really sound like Starscream. But it's kind of weird after Megatron literally chokes him out in the film. So afterwards, he only speaks a little bit. But it sounds like he got the higher pitch there. So I think it's kind of like changed it up a bit. All right, which I'm all for. But yeah, it just didn't sound like Starscream. He did a good job. All right, it just didn't sound like him. That's my only gripe with it. But another voice actor that deserves a lot of talk, and the main villain of the movie, which is not Megatron, Sentinel Prime. I cannot believe Sentinel Prime in the movie is essentially the Transformer Homelander. Like, everything. Mannerisms to corruption to just straight up killing people, all right, to get what he wants. Seriously, there is a scene where Sentinel Prime backstabs the entirety of the 13 Primes, all right, and kills them like one by one. Like, holy shit. You hate this guy. Like, and John Hamm, oh my gosh. Fantastic freaking performance. Like, oh my god, seriously, Robot Homelander. Speak. Not to mention, they also included Zeta Prime as the 13th Prime, which, damn, okay, 13th Prime normally goes unnamed. Alright, because it's supposed to be a reincarnation of Primus himself, which is usually considered to be Optimus. But 13th here, they actually included Zeta, which, yeah, that's kind of insane. Zeta, the holder of the Matrix. Sentinel, the pretender to the throne. Optimus, the rightful bearer. Again, it's insane. They managed to meld so much together, all right, including making it so, like, just little bits here and there just worked. Oh, and I do want to point this out. Hang on. You know, it's funny. Hasbro doesn't really go after third-party companies for illegal shit, because as long as they don't say Transform and don't use the actual names or Autobot, Decepticon, or whatnot, then yeah, they kind of can get away with it. But I will say this, the design of Primus that shows up in the film is very similar to this ball of pain. This is the 01 Studio Seed Primus, by the way. Yeah, stupid expensive figure, pain in the ass to transform, will eventually get a review from me, but I have half a mind to throw it out the damn window. Still $300, Jesus. Either way, couldn't help but notice that Primus had a striking resemblance to this guy's robot mode. Red tube top and all. Crazy. Crazy indeed. But yeah, the film's great. Oh, there is one other part of the film that I want to mention. The music. Now, I don't like spoilers. And I even include music as being a spoiler, because 9 times out of 10, the OST has, like, lines from the film that could be interpreted as spoilers. Well, the only thing I noticed about the OST is that the composer is Brian Tyler. Who is that? Well, he's done a bunch of different soundtracks, video games, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, by chance, You might know him from that. Or Transformers fan might know him from the guy who did the music for Transformers Prime. Which I am not shitting you here. You cheeky bastard. The main Transformers Prime theme popped up as the theme for the 13 Primes and Primus himself. Oh my god, the second it played on screen, I recognized it and I'm like, oh man. As a Transformers Prime fan, yes. Granted, origin story is very different from Transformers Prime, but the end result is essentially the same. Which, yeah, a lot of the end results are the same when it comes to Transformers, but still, the journey. Either way, this film works perfectly as a 40th anniversary for Transformers series as a whole. I highly recommend you go watch it. Alright? It is an animated movie, and I already know. I mean, I asked my dad to go, and he's like, no, I don't want to go see a cartoon. I'm like, yeah, it may be a cartoon, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. And you know what? This movie was not bad. It was actually very good. It movied perfectly. Alright? Was it a perfect film? No. There were still some moments that definitely needed some work. Some things moved a little too quickly, in my opinion. And then some things just kind of happened. But then other things also happened, and you were like, whew, this was really cool. So, yeah, I fully recommend the movie. Christ almighty, this review might be over 20 minutes long. I just noticed the timer. But what can I say? I had to geek out. Alright? I have half a mind to just upload the full thing here. Alright, and just, yeah. This is my unbridled opinion. I'm sorry if you got spoiled, but I gave you 1, 2, 3 warnings already. It's great. It's a great film. Alright, it truly is. Side note, there is an after credits scene a la Marvel here, and yeah, I will say this point blank: the film deserves a sequel because it would basically be the start of the great war between the Autobots and Decepticons. All right, with the Quintessons thrown in too. Like, oh snap, I want to see that. Yeah, if they keep it up at the same time, like all at the same time, like, come on. Seriously, I really want this movie to be successful just so that for them to continue this. It totally earned it, deserves it. Seriously. Great movie. I loved it. It had a few issues, but nothing that was truly damning to the film. And honestly, as low of a bar as Transformers films have, this was way past that bar. Alright? Like, way past it. It's a very good film. Either way, I'm Convertibot. That was my review of Transformers 1. And, yeah. See you in the next one, which will be this guy's review. I've actually planned to have it up today, but, yeah, some things got in the way. Apologies. But I should have it up over the weekend. Which, now that I think about it, I plan to get this out before this movie review, so I'm going to have to refilm a bunch of things. Great. Alright, have a beautiful time. Catch you in the next one.